Hi guys, how are you? How you guys doing? It's Saturday, right? We're here on a Saturday. Okay. Sorry, I apologize. Um, yeah, to learn from each other as well. As much as we love it, I have my guilty pleasure. I love watching the drama sometimes. I do, but I would say 80% of my time I like to do productive stuff. Not that that's not productive, but intellectual type of learning stuff. So yeah, don't forget, even if you don't catch the show while it's live, you can still share it on after and you can watch it. I got some good update for you guys tonight. And finally, well, let me finish sharing first and then I will tell you this. I apologize. I know I said I was going to come live on my day off. Unfortunately, I work in the hospital world. The day off always swish. And it never ends up being your day off. You always have to go in, especially being a manager of a department. Oh, no worries. I understand. Hi, Riverside Pro. How are you? How are you doing? I'm looking forward. I know you're at work, but if you get the time, and you can, ask some questions, I would love it. Okay, I would love it. I really like when you're watching or stuff like that. You really get people to think outside the box. And I bet your kids are going to be, or they are very, very intellectual because of how you ask questions. Yeah, I really like the insight, to be quite honest. So let me share with you. Um, Oh, I thought I shared a group chat. Well, you guys haven't been coming on. Nobody can hear you. So I guess you guys just all start joining in the comment section. Nah, there's no point of the group chat if you guys don't communicate, right? Anyways, I just wanted to throw you guys under the bus there. But I see our co-host. Where have you been lately? We need to talk, man. So this is an opinion. Oh, this is interesting how this is showing up tonight. Let me go in the comments. I guess I gotta click on the video. So I pinned the stuff right now. Guys, we're gonna start at 9 o'clock and we're ending exactly at 10 o'clock. I have an early shift tomorrow morning, but consistency, right? Consistency is the key. Got some news tonight. I was finally able to make connection with the radio station. I'm excited for that. I was finally able to get a deal with the radio station in my area, and we'll finally have our show on Sunday there early. So I'm so excited for that. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're gonna be doing 1 hour in Liberia early Sunday. So super excited. I will let you guys know once. I mean, I was able to get a deal, but we haven't signed anything yet because I want to make sure. I understand the full frames, things like that, but we finally got a airtime in Liberia, and it's gonna be on Sundays. And I will tell you guys, we'll still have an evening shows here, but I'm just excited to tell you guys that we'll be doing that. And I found someone, a gentleman that I think you guys will like him. He's really cool. It's actually recommended by a friend of mine that actually is the president of the radio station. We'll go into the logistics once I get everything all settled in, but definitely, we do have one now. And I'm excited for that because I will be sitting on that show. It's going to be live, it will be video. You guys will see it. The person will actually be the host seated in Liberia. And I would join the show every now and then if I have the time, but that person will be running that show, that segment of this show in Liberia. And part of the show, we're gonna do some, first when we start out, of course we gotta. You guys are so excited. I wanted to bring that this week, but couldn't. So I'm excited. I'm so happy right now. So the gentleman that will be actually running the show, will be actually dedicated to it, and he has a background in the media world. So just happy right now. But yeah, that final conversation came about probably it was Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday evening to them, but everything got confirmed. So really allow me to have on the radio. So LIB, we are coming for you. Okay, we're coming for you. Yeah, coming for you. And some other great stuff are coming. Still working on that interview with Cummings. Okay, still working on the logistics of it. So guys, we are. So that's the gist for the night. That is the gist of the night. I want to share the show, and then key is consistency, stay focused. My plan is to grow before the end of the year. Okay. It's the fourth month of the year. Hi, welcome guys. There's 4 people watching. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss B. If it is your first time here, come on, come and join us. It is exciting. We're happy to have you here. I know there's so many things on the internet you guys could be watching right now, but we are here and you have a seat at this table. I like to call myself make it happen. You guys, the few times some people inbox and talk about getting fat. Yes, I'm eating odd hours because my shape has changed. Right. Okay. River says for is ready. He says, I don't think culture relationships are negatively impacted as long there is mutual understanding. However, there could also be cultural clash due to misunderstanding. Definitely. It happens all the time. All the time. But we're gonna jump into that another part. Guys, I make that dress yeah. Yes, I've been gaining some weight. I am not pregnant. I don't want to say it's impossible, but I just want to address some of your inboxes to me. I am not pregnant. Let's just address that first. We are done having children. We are done. Two and done. All my family, anybody who knows me, knew that my goal was to have two of each different sex, boy or girl. And God answered my prayers, and I got it exactly how I asked for, a boy and a girl, and I got it. And I was blessed enough to have a partner that wanted the same. So here we are. No more baby. This is all food. I've been working with and I've been eating, munching out of stress and stuff like that. But I know myself when I'm ready to lose weight, it's like that. So I'm not that concerned. So please leave me alone. I ain't pregnant, okay? Where you been? I've been waiting for you to come here so I can deal with you. Where you been?
I've been around here.
We coming have our own family feud online.
No, our family few we're talking behind the scene. We're not talking about nothing.
I gonna be the drama queen to drag you online.
Oh, big, you don't need to say.
You haven't called me. Why you haven't checked on me? Why? Why? I
You
miss
see
you.
what?
No,
I
I just.
know. Myself, I miss you too.
Oh,
I was coming from I was on the highway. I was coming at night. I thought I would arrive the time, but then I came
I
out of. I got messed up with plenty things so much, so I couldn't join you. I felt sorry for you. You alone was on the show running it.
okay. You guys trust me to handle it.
I know. I
I
know.
have
I know
the
you could.
process been holding it down, and I also had Anna came on the show.
Yeah, I saw Anna. Anna was there. I saw her.
Been holding it down, but I got some good news for you.
All right. You got to hit that news on me. So I got to get that news. So you
If you were listening or you were listening, we
yeah,
are
what just joining. Just joining. So
yeah
you could
we're
be in
gonna
there.
show aired on like
Let
on the
me let me get it. I want to
and
share the show. I want to share the show. I'm trying to share it.
okay. Finish now. I share the news with you.
Okay. Let me see again. Um um
My plenty right.
mm, oh,
Yeah, I said, but what happened to Brother Bros?
I
Well,
know, huh?
I know what's his name said he's doing Ramadan. I know they were about to end, but
Oh yeah, wait,
Lawrence,
Lawrence. Yeah,
yeah.
Lawrence is trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not easy. And even I've been wanting to come live on my day off, but because they're so busy, I don't know what's going on, what's in the air. My day off, I always end up going to work.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been having day off. It is what it is. We got to survive. Got to survive. All right, guys, we encourage you to share the show. We're about to start in a few minutes. So lately I've only been doing 1 hour, so we have to stick to 1 hour
Wow.
because I feel like past 1 hour, people aren't interested in watching it that much anymore.
You see?
So I want us to stick to 1 hour because what I've
Yeah.
noticed after 1 hour, people are not interested in watching it anymore.
Yeah, sure.
'Cause-
So I mean, I believe 1 hour is okay. Maybe from 9 to 10 is okay for us.
yeah.
Anyone who come there later, like your business, you can join the show later and watch it. Don't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Share the good news with me now. I want to hear it. So,
So, River Pro said, "What's up, man?"
hey, what's up, bro? What's up, bro?
Right, man. Say he won't be able to join us tonight. I'm holding it down. But the news is, remember I said we want to get a show on radio in Liberia?
Mhm.
Reach out to, I'll tell you that behind closer because I don't want to say it. And it's the show, you know,
Okay, you can tell you can say that won't be closer after the
but,
show.
but it's going to agree for us to have it, which is going to be kind of like this. So any of us that will be free to join it at that time every Sunday, it's going to be early in the afternoon, right after church, you know, when people get home. Like,
Yeah, we will work on it, but let's discuss that one behind the scene, as you said. Then we can do.
yeah, but it will be they agreed to give me airtime one
Yeah,
show.
1 hour every day, every
No,
Sunday.
no, on Sunday.
Yeah, no problem.
They want dig in my bank account. I want
I
to do that.
know.
They want dig.
Two all guys don't know to compare say after the show, but we'll talk that one after the show. Let's go into our topic of discussion tonight.
Yeah. After I dealt with him, who was settled. You
You say you fell with me?
know, I said,
I if you fell with your big brother. Yeah.
I know, right? Only the Western world we can look at our big brother and say we best.
I said. Don't get fell with big brother. Tana deal.
Mine is say, look at the other one I used to be saying that chubby eating.
You mind?
Oh man. Oh, brother Boris show face today.
Oh, you
Yeah,
not going on?
the topic interesting to I ain't got him to bring it. Let
He
me
high
say,
he say, you know what show he say?
bring it on show.
He high behind camera. When I other one and he be talking whole day, say I can have myself behind camera.
It's like this. I don't know.
Please take that Russell pro comment down here. Please speaking to him.
Uh, so let me watch it. I guess it's a full house tonight. Why all are coming from? I said with everybody, brother, bros, where are you? Show your face.
Salome about Dana pray for her in China, in Asia.
Jimmy, where you hiding for? We don't want to see dark faces here tonight. Solomon running. Oh my god. I guess the topic interesting tonight. One day, I don't know. I came from work. I was sleeping. I said I'm doing the topic. I had to put the topic already. I kept changing it. I'm not putting it there right. I kept saying I was like, oh god, this people gonna hurt me mad at me. Oh man. But yeah, welcome to the show, guys. We're about to start in exactly 3 minutes.
Yeah, but we can use the 3 minutes to do our intro, and then right on the dot 9 o'clock, we'll go straight into the discussion point.
Send me message. I want to deal with you afterwards. Don't send me no message. You know how many times I message you? Nobody responds to me. Brother Boris, I will call you. I will call you after the show. That's why I say, all of you, we have family meeting to have. I have family meeting one by one. We are one at a time. And you, co-host, you get the worst part of the meeting. We're gonna have 1 hour of family feud, then we settle it, okay? I can hear you.
I said I'm waiting for all the backlashes. I'm waiting for everything. All the backlashes you want to give me, I'm waiting for them.
Brother Bros, get on the thing here. I see your message. We'll settle that. But get on here. I want to see your face. Get on here. Only Lauren finally responded to me after I messaged and I said, for what's wrong with you? Anyway,
Everybody was bouncing G.
I don't know what the bouncing G for. What I did to you? I'll fight all of you one at a time. You don't know I'm the only woman on the show here. I trying to bring one of you on the show. She acting up out business.
Mm.
To be permanent, she acting funny. Never keep bluffing. When we become like spoon, nobody should call me. Oh.
I know, right?
No, we won't be like spoon buying any not somewhere right now.
No, we don't want to be there. Then we could be more than them.
Oh, that's all right. It is 9 o'clock, guys. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. I'm your host. Look, we're getting our peeps on the line. Well, let me help be. He's stuck in the air. Yeah, Riverside Pro ready for us tonight. Though. Ready.
Okay. Are you done or you starting already?
Yeah, we can start. It's by 9 o'clock now. We can get started.
Yeah, so we're running the show for 1 hour, right? Like we said, right?
Yes, we are.
So meaning we got to be in time with our discussion points, and we're hitting our points. If we set 1 minute or 2 minutes for someone to say what, we got to focus on it. Then we got to be time conscious nowadays, right?
It's 9 o'clock exact. And my name is Alicia, you guys know me, your host, and I put on to you.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the last 2 weeks I haven't been here on the show. Sorry, due to some technical and personal reason I couldn't be here. But again, welcome every one of you. My name is Andrew. I'm your co-host on the program Let's Talk with Miss Fee. And on tonight we'll be discussing in this topic, how does cultural differences shape relationship expectations? How we talk about cultural differences, how does it shape our relationship expectation? So we want to join us on the conversation tonight, and so we all can talk and talk. Again, my name is Andrew, your co-host. Let's talk with Miss Fee tonight. Welcome.
Well, guys, we have Andrew. Andrew, are you there?
I'm here, but I'm looking at this. What is happening, bros?
Jimmy, are
I'm
you there?
you just talking to Andrew. I mean, you're just trying to pick force at me, man.
How are you?
Okay, they fell you to my not I feed, man.
You know when you the fix, you have to season it up.
I know.
Having the Andrew. Oh Jesus Christ!
Maybe he's not there. Jimmy is not around, so let's go straight into the topic. When he joins us, we come. We're not gonna be wasting time for these kind of latecomers and
You
inactive members.
you know how to bring them out. But yeah, welcome to the show. We're talking about culture differences. How does that affect the one? I just want us to just actually culture expect that look like? Or pull up look like. Mhm. All right. This is coming back. We all know what culture is, right? Culture is um, the system that unique to an individual and the society in general. That's kind of a give you a definition. But according to culture theory, right, the way we experience love is influenced by culture norms, beliefs. Culture is kind of like what you are accustomed to. Um, associable for you. You're accustomed to believe that's what it is, and that's like I remember growing up. How was that?
Sorry, I don't know why you keep breaking in. I don't know it's from a device I'm listening through or, but I don't know why you keep you. I mean, you keep breaking in. I know.
Um, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, it's a little more better. But go ahead. When I experience difficulty, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So basically, norms are those that we're accustomed to, like our belief system. Like I said, um, based on my research, basically how we experience love is basically influenced by what our cultural norms are. Like maybe my cultural norms is, I make sure I wash my family clothes, or like make sure that the man is always taking care of, sure like I clip his toenails. Maybe that's a cultural norm for us, right? Or maybe like when he's sleeping, I have to wake up and do that. Since we're talking about relationships, referring to, right? Um, but that be cultural norms of mine, or cultural of mine. Every Sunday we have to go to church, and when we come back from church, we're not to work or do anything like that. And if you have somebody with the opposite end, the clock man. So I just wanted to introduce that to the way we started. We was experiencing that. How about now? When I'm speaking to the mic, is it better?
Yeah, it's still kind of a breaking in some way somehow. I don't know. You got to do some adjustment on that mic or so. I think so.
All right, let me let you go ahead and take it on while I try to figure this out.
Okay, I think the topic is is a great topic tonight, and we want to encourage people to join us, so we all can discuss this issue of cultural diversity, cultural difference in expectations, the differences in culture, whether it can shape the relationship expectation. I think it's a great topic tonight, and it's good. But looking at some point of definition, you want to point off at culture, it had to do with customs. Custom it had to do with the customs of people, their social institution, the acts and other things they do, right? A certain thing, custom that they adapt, you know, in their lifestyle, in their community, it considered as a culture that people should do this in a way that everybody should respect. It was a cultural value, cultural norms. So, like you were saying, well, our culture says that we should not do this one. Our culture says that we should, the women should respect the men, and when the women see the man coming or the woman sees her husband coming, the woman should at least stand up or bow down. And the case when the younger one sees the bigger one, they should wake up and sit down. They should wake up, the bigger one sit down. Those are culture. Those are things that happen in the society. But we're going further on the topic whether it can shape relationship expectation. I say yes, it does, because if and this is why when you are in when you are going in a corporate world, when you getting into a working environment, in a new environment, or whatever, they will always ask you on cultural diversity. How do you mingle with people of different cultural values and different cultural, behavior? So they will always ask you. You will have that ability to adapt to other cultural, different group of people that have different culture, because what is in my culture, it could not be in your culture. So we need to adapt others culture, or not adapt in the per se, but we need to be able to live with them, work with them, and not necessarily doing that culture, but no, this is their culture. So if a man and a woman came together and had cultural diversity, the woman culture is different and the man culture is different, especially when they are from two different, nationality, or let's say different group, say African American or black and a white person getting married. So the white man culture is quite different. We African, we believe in the extended family issues. We believe in it. It's our culture. We believe in extended family. Our mothers, our father, our aunts, our uncle, our nieces, they all jump to our house. But the people whose culture are only limited to the nuclear family, you know, they will not accept it. So because if they will not accept you, know your culture, you kind of more family people, and you marry on somebody who only believe in husband and wife and children, that is an issue. So until the both of you sit together and decide it and discuss this issue, it will create a serious problem in the relationship. So I don't want to continue to hold it because I got more to say on that, but I want to give you the time to go to expand on it. Maybe Jimmy will come in.
Well, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And you're definitely right. Like before, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure that it's
Yeah, we
that.
hearing you much better than before. You were looking like a old gramophone before.
I think the kids mess with a microphone or something. But going to the topic, right? It's much better now. Okay. Okay. So cultural. I always thought about when you guys read when I posted like the topic and things like that about what we're talking about. It says, have you ever thought about when people say, when you ask a lot of women these days, especially when you ask them why did the relationship didn't work, right? People say irreconcilable differences, but the further you actually talk to them, you start to understand they're like, they don't understand me, I don't understand them, and we just it just didn't click. He has a different way how he does things. I have my way how I do things. Sorry, guys. My voice is a little bit cracked because I had like some cold today about the past, so I apologize in advance. Um, so culture differences, we live in a world where right now it's all about inclusiveness, right? And everybody believes that you can marry or in a relationship and do and it's okay. But the reality is we pay for everything. So most of the people that I have seen, and I don't have a actual, study that proves it, but um, the majority of people that I've seen from culture always says this that there's always a clash when it comes to certain things that they grew up with, in, right? To say a man and woman already have that issue with differently. How about people that have different cultures that are trying to do for each other?
What's happening, Fee?
Can somebody lower their volume or I mean whatever they are watching in the back?
Yes, it's not me, but that's me checking, but I'm muted. So,
Andrew,
Fee,
you
please.
always have problem. You always have problem. Every time you come on the show, there's
You
always
just coming in on the show. You have not even rested. So you come in and just interrupting our discussion. Mind you, go ahead, Fee, before I deal with this man.
God. So wow, you can tell you're there. But basically, men and women that are getting into a relationship, we already have. So let me say violence. We already have differences as individual in general, right? We already have our differences, even if we're from the same culture. There are certain things that we do differently from a male perspective, right? And that's a clash in itself. And then thinking about the fact that somebody that was raised in another country or another set of the world, they have their culture accustomed to them. In my opinion, that is huge enough to clash a relationship. Your expectation might be, oh, there's two of them.
Jimmy, you are the one I'm misbehaving now.
All right, I remove one of it.
Kim in photo copy him saying,
Oh no. Okay.
I mean, mute yourself, Jimmy.
I don't need to be muted, mommy.
Oh, Jimmy Kaya with violence. How big he is.
They make kind of real of on me. Oh.
They make him back. We're like that's Fisher and he ready to deal with me and ready to deal with anybody that's simple for
Uh,
welcome to
On me.
you.
how is Salome doing?
Hey,
Salome and I will be on vacation. Vacation just ended, so we just got back.
hey,
Glory to God. Thank God for you.
shiny. Hey, don't put that showing.
Yeah, but yes, but on a serious note, right? Like on a serious note, we were taking maybe before Jimmy comes in,
Right.
though he came with a noise, but like we were saying, right? Cultural, it have to. There will be serious issues when it comes to these cultural issues, right? And like we were saying, yeah, it have the propensity. I will use a big bull and a crew man, but it can shape the relationship expectation. Because if and that's why before when we're discussing about marriage or we're talking about family issue, we're talking about full disclosure into relationship before anybody gets into relationship. These are some of the things we need to talk. Because if I come from a different cultural background, and my cultural background tells me to eat certain kind of food. Like for instance, some of the example of cultural diversity talk about food. You talk in fact, couple religion. Religion is one too. Take example on the last night we were discussing on one of our shows when one of our friend Lawrence were here. I mean, frankly speaking, I didn't know that Lawrence came from the Islamic background or he's a Muslim. And we're talking something where I said something that he felt a bit offended. He thought I was attacking a relation, but I was not attacking his relation. But we settled that already, right? So that's cultural differences. They have the expectations to shape relationship. If you don't fully disclose some of those things, you talk about religion, and you will see a non-Muslim, say a Muslim, a non-Muslim Christians getting married to a Muslim. Is that accepted? Well, some culture, the culture may accept it, but however, when it comes to certain things, they may not want to do it. So when it reach certain tourists, say, "Look, oh, she's a Christian, you can't get married to her, or he's a Christian, you can't get married to him." So religion plays a key part into in the relationship to aspect when it comes to culture. The other thing, food. There's certain kind of food we eat culturally that other people. Let me. Those are all we have from the Basa, background and Nima background, from Nima background. We people get it like GB, the GB from the Nima side. And I like the Basa food, though I'm no sort of food too, man. But it's our cultural food. That man a bad man, Jimmy like Kasawali, Basa Jama. It's their cultural food. So
Don't lie
if you're not
on me,
able to
mommy. Don't lie on
if
me.
okay, like a business, if you're not able to prepare that kind of sauce for your husband, then it will be a problem. So these are things that we look at. We look at communication, and there's communication into that too as well, right? So I don't want to go into it deeper. Let me stop there. Then like me who say allow when he come in. If sorry me, yeah, you laugh at us. Then he come in. I'm looking at you. I'll pause. I will pause. I don't want to go in deeper because I have a lot of things to say when we come to cultural,
First of all,
differences that shape relationship expectation.
first of all, being a man or man doesn't mean that you would like to swallow GB.
No. I didn't say being a man you would like to swallow GB. I didn't say being a boss you would like to swallow food. I said
You say Jimmy
those.
Environment.
I come in.
You
No,
like a
no.
cassava
Give me
leaf.
chance. No. All right, go ahead.
All right. It been a while since I was here, and we got very close to watch, but I I recorded a note. Some we do laundry after here,
We do
but
housekeeping after here.
as far as the topic tonight is concerned, you know, the cultural differences, whether it shapes a relationship expectation, I would say it depends because there are a lot of cultural differences that are reconcilable and workable, and we have seen that work and is working. You see a Chinese man married to an African man, I mean, a Chinese woman married to an African man, or vice versa. They both have cultural differences, but they have come to the point of understanding and respecting both person, each other's cultural value and belief. So they are working together happily. Now, some of the irreconcilable differences in relationship that lead to relationship not working may not be cultural. They might just be, you know, um, lack of um, willingness for somebody to change. For example, if you are a lady, you know, you married a man, if you are outgoing person or party going person or club going person, and your partner is not that kind of person, and your partner try to tell you, hey, you know, you need to slow this down, because they try to make you understand that the time you spend out there, they need you to be around and stuff like that. And you think that the person is trying to be controlling, and maybe friends that you hanging out with, the person's trying to advise you, hey, I mean, we need time together, you know we need our time and stuff like that, and you don't want to accept those kind of um you know things. Those are some of the irreconcilable differences because someone has refused to adapt to the new uh life that they have accepted to live with. Because if you are in a long-term relationship or married, or someone, you have to know your partner like and dislike. And sometimes, we have to let go of ourselves to please our partner. So our failure to understand that and work with it can create some of the irreconcilable differences that we are discussing here tonight. So the irreconcilable differences may not be cultural at all. It may just be simple things that somebody have have not agreed to accept. Someone don't want to change to be a new person. I always tell people that marriage doesn't change anyone. If you are not the wife or the husband before getting married, the marriage will not make you the wife or the husband. You will just be carrying that ring around, you gotta call it, get a handcuff. You see, driving other people away from you. So I will stop there. You know, I intend to be very cool tonight. I don't want to cause trouble. Nothing. I just want to discuss the issue. And please let no one get on my nerve.
The way you keep me, you keep me peace. Jesus.
So
I can
I don't think you're trying to
actually
tar anybody here tonight anyway. But I mean, you stress a beautiful point, and Jimmy, and which is true, right? I mean, some of the things cannot be normal naturally, it cannot be cultural differences, but it can be like we talk about communications as you mentioned. We were talking about communication in what we were talking about. It's just simple, right? If you want for the relationship, to I mean, to be strengthened. They talk about some of the reason why, some of those shape they talk about communication. So when there's a breach in communication, the communication style, the way people communicate, it's just simple, right? So if I was going out and I said, look, I'm going out today, it doesn't take anything from me when I'm telling you, my partner, look, I am going out. I'm going to some place. It's necessarily I must know where you're going. Are you going to Fee play? Are you going to Jimmy play? Are you going to Uso play? I must know where you're going. Even if you don't want to tell me, but say I'm going out to so and so place, I will be back at so and so time. Communication matters, but you are not communicating and you go. Fine, that's another point. You stress another point again. The other person like going out, and the other person doesn't like to go out. And we talk about a long-term relationship. In a long-term relationship, the person there is like not that somebody want to be controlling, no, but it is such that look, this other person you with, this person doesn't like this one. The time you out there, the person want you to be with them. But you up there, what you do there, nobody knows what you're doing there. But the person here, home, sitting, relaxing, waiting, and they're not seeing you. You are not there. Both ways. So that could also shape the direction of the relationship. Because you let going out to spend all of your time there, it comes anytime you feel like. Yes, the other person doesn't like the person is the home person that will sit home all time and doesn't have to go out. But you up there, you want to go up there every time. So that alone can narrowly shape the relationship. And when that happens, when you see the person looking, okay, look, I'm not going to say that again. I'm not going to do that again. Obviously, it leading to something. And people need to discern, need to think about those things, right? Some people say, oh, let me let this go, man. That's the person that will happen. But people should understand it is not controlling thing. Nobody want to control someone's movement. But you cannot get a relationship and then you out there because you come from two different backgrounds. You love walking about, the other person doesn't like it. But when you come together, you establish that relationship, you come together. And that's why when people are meeting with partner, always share their likes and dislikes. So people say, me and let it one, me and let it one. So there should be a reconcilable one. Say you let it one, I don't let it one, man. I will manage the one, I will be able to do this one, I'll be able to do this one. But you cannot keep, doing the dislike of the person, you keep doing it over and over. And sometimes the person are him on too. The person will say, okay, I'm tired, I will let you be, do whatever you want to do. When you're tired, you can sit down. And when the person say, I'm tired, I guess I don't want to talk again, they don't want to talk. And obviously, you may never tell. So that's a key point you stress, Jimmy. I just thought to have come there. For me, I might take it, but Jimmy may not take it. I mean, say, well, that's the person way. I mean, that's how the person want to behave. So we'll take it. But normally, and to be honest, people should respect each other's view, likes and dislikes. If you say, "No, I don't like this one. I don't like you to do this one," it's difficult for you to do. It's not like the person controlling, but the person just wants you to for you to be together at a given time. Then up there. It's necessary. I will pause there, and then maybe if he can come me, then we'll continue to get the ball rolling.
Thank you so much for that. Definitely. Maybe in the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to look in the comment section. There are some really key information that people are putting in there. But I just wanted to add, and I agree with you guys, but I also do believe that I do think that culture differences do shape our expectations in relationship because one, let me just give you guys an example of American culture. So my entire dating life or things I know about relationship in general is from the US standpoint. I know that you date, then you guys go out and things like that. But I remember back in school, there was a gentleman that had just came to the US and he was in our class. And I remember they were all diplomats from Nigeria, from Cameroon, like these different places, and we were all in a group as African culture, and we all used to hang out, we studied together and do things together. So I remember we went out one night and he saw this lady that he really liked, and he went to her, was like, "Hey, I love you." Right, that's something that African people, I'm just giving you that little culture, right? So that's a culture in African, I guess, when African men approach a woman, instead of them saying like, and I know that have changed now based on the exposure to many people, right? But he explained to us saying "I love you." It was kind of like a casual word that they use, which is something like in American culture, it's like, "Are you crazy? You don't even know me. What do you mean by you love me?" Right? Instead of you saying "I like you," and love is something that's built later. And because of that, the girl got really upset. Actually, it went beyond. She slapped him, and he's like, "Do you know who I am? I am a king, blah, blah, blah." And we're all laughing. That was something, that was his culture. He didn't understand the American culture, that how you approach women. So to me, that's another culture that could shape your expectation as well. And I want us to look at this. So most African culture do not really believe in like PDA, like outside kissing, holding hands, someone affectionate, just doing all of that. That's not a cultural norm in Liberia. Let me just speak specifically because I know a little bit about Liberia, even though I didn't really grow up my whole teenage year over there. But I know the culture is, first of all, your parents will not see you and your boyfriend or whatsoever you call each other just out there holding hands and making out and things like that. That's not something that the culture expects. It's something that is to be private and kept behind closed doors, right? From what we know, now it may have changed because people are exposed now to different things. But I know as a little girl, that's something that I see a lot. You don't see your dad hugging the guys, like just showing expression and things like that. So that could be a culture norm. So somebody who may, come to the US or meet someone abroad there at work, they as I times the woman or the man believes in those cultural norms. Like, "I want you to hold my hands." That shows me that you're into me. I want you to, like, show me off or kiss me. Whenever I show up, I need hug, I need affection, I need it to be displayed out there. And maybe someone else don't expect that. And then now in that situation, don't you think that that's going to shift your entire expectation of that relationship where it's going?
Um, Fee,
Uh-huh.
what we have to differentiate culture from personal lifestyle.
It is
Because
culture.
yeah, I know culture is a way of life of a group of people, but outside of that, people have their personal life, especially when it comes to relationship. Culture only plays in when it comes to, in relationship, when it comes to acquiring, a wife or a husband,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
what we're talking about, is how to do something with communications issues, which is a classical example of cultural diversities,
Yeah, so
communication styles. Yeah.
this style of communication, and I understand, but style of communication, um, for example, language could
Language
be
also does. Yeah.
could be a barrier, in relationship. But now we have translators, you know, we have apps that translate. Um, so that is not even an issue anymore.
It still is. There's a lot in that, but it's not as much as it used to be, in my
Ye-
opinion, right?
yes. So I believe what is causing a lot of relationship to not function as it should is a lack of understanding. Lack of understanding.
Let,
So
let, let Jimmy, I come in. I just want us to go back to that issue of communication styles. If we look, if we look at communication styles, let look at, like, in the United States, right, in the US, where you guys are. The people who use the F word, they don't care about using the F word. It feels nothing.
Okay.
But that's communication. They use the F word. But back home in my village, you can't use that F word near the error.
All right. So just to hold you
Yeah.
there,
Go ahead. Yeah.
just to hold you there a little bit. If I am getting into a relationship, for example, with Fee has to first know my lifestyle. Fee has to know my choice of voice when we are together. When I'm angry, words that I use. All right. And, you know, if he is not comfortable with those words, the first thing Fee will do is she will engage me. Okay? She will engage me. Look, the situation does not call for this, and you went over. What is it? What happened? And then the way I will either respond to her or I react. She know, I call it, she will know whether or not this guy is the guy that she should go with. So right there, it is, you know, it is not culture, but it is individual, because American culture is not an abusive culture. All right. But certain people just develop a particular lifestyle. They just develop, how to use, or certain words in a minor situation. Okay. And most of the words, that adequate that you're talking about, you and I know the group of people that it comes from. And the other time, we're talking about, single parenting, or double parenting or adequate and all of that. And some of these things come from there, the way people were brought out. But it don't have to be their culture. It is not their culture that taught them that. All right. It is just the way, the environment that they were brought up in, that adequate that make them like that. You
but that's
see?
their norm though, because remember that's something that is like your norm. So I agree
Or
with
norm, or
right.
norm, or norm is not a culture. So we shouldn't conflict them. You
No,
see?
no, that's not what I'm saying. So we know a group of people within our community. That's what they're accustomed to. That's what
Mhm.
they do, right? So
Yeah.
we look at. Let me just pull it up because I give my definition. Right? um get the definition, right?
Yes. So why are you looking at that? Why are you looking at that? Yes. I also agree that those kind of behavior can sabotage a relationship because if one person is not comfortable with that style of life, they will walk away. You see, they will walk away adequately because your star doesn't suit their star.
Right.
You see,
So let's
so
Black community. Sorry, I don't mean to call you because I want us to really leave in 1 hour. Okay.
yeah,
So let's look at so a culture basically, right? If we all know the definition is what does it says? It says it's the custom, the art, like I'm trying to put it so it's basically all the ways life including basically the belief system that an institution or a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Basically, that's what culture is. So whatever you, so basically, I can say me and my family, we are building our culture, me and my family, me and my kids. That is our culture. So you can define it how you want to, but it's basically what I'm accustomed to, those value systems that have been instilled in me. So if my group of people, my family, like the Fancy family, let's just say for example, our culture is that every female in the family should have certain type of educational degree before they reach certain age and get married. That is our culture. That is our value system that we have built and we're accustomed to. So when I have my children, that's something that I want to instill in them. So we can't just say no. That's a certain group of people. Yeah, that's a certain group of people, but that's something that they have built within their community. That is their culture. So if somebody else is about to marry me and not used to using the F word, I will feel different when I will feel like I don't feel like I fit in, and that can not make the relationship go any further because I can't be myself. I can't really do things. Let's just say a lot of people believe that the Nigerian culture, men dominate, right? That's what everybody know in general. So as a woman, if I'm marrying into that, my expectation needs to already know that the man is going to dominate the relationship and the certain tribe I have to bow. I went to a Nigerian church and I didn't understand every time they enter the church, somebody older, they have to bow down. And I'm like, I'm not bowing to you. I only bow to Christ. But that is my culture that's been instilled in me that I only bow to a higher power, not human being. But that's their culture. I can't say that's their own personal thing they're doing. It's still part of a culture system. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think the point you're stressing is great as well. Like you see, like something that we call taboo, right?
Huh.
Yeah, taboo is a typical example of cultural differences that can also help to shape a relationship. The- the- there's certain thing that's complete or taboo. Like you make a classical example right here. Like there's some things that are completely a taboo. What is considered as a taboo to me may not be considered as a taboo to you. But you look at it as something different. But I look at it look like there's a word. I think it's in articles or somewhere, but there's a particular word that when you pronounce in a particular language, it serves as an abuse to another language in another language. So if you are not careful and then you say that, and the person who hears it say, what a guy is saying. Until you explain it to the person will not understand. So there are certain things we consider as a taboo. Okay, that this thing we don't do this. The cultural people will say, look, in this water is a taboo. No stranger should swim in this water. I experienced that when I went somewhere far away, some part of Grand Bassa, can't tell how many, almost 10, okay, 11. yeah, say 11 years back. I went in a village, my friend and myself, and they clearly told us it's a taboo for a stranger, a non-resident of this village, to go and take bath in the water. But guess what? You can get in the canoe because you get in the canoe and cross the water. It's a taboo that you cannot swim in this water as a stranger. That's a taboo. So if I went there in that place, I must respect their cultural norms, their cultural values. So taboo is one of it. And they will tell you, look, this place you do not venture. Let's take an example of those who go into the Sandy Beach. It's a taboo that a non-member should not venture in that region. It is also a taboo that I don't want to go into that in depth too much, right? But these are things that people do. So when two partners come together and they have differences culturally, this other person say, look, like for instance, so for the southeastern part of Liberia, let's say Maryland, Grand Jide, River G, all countries, they don't subscribe to what they call the female genital mutilation. But the rest of the almost 15 countries, out of 15, we have almost 11 countries or 12 countries practicing that FGM. They are practicing it, but the other country is a taboo. They say no, it's a taboo. They cannot do it. So if I went on a side and got married to a woman, my tribal group can do it. But if they make it from Grand Jide County or Maryland County and married to a lady who did not tell him that she passed through the process, no, then it will be it will shift because of a cultural difference. So a global man married a woman from Lufa, and that thing was done to her. Brother, tell me, she didn't disclose it to him, but there's a taboo that we must do with him. But it is a taboo to me, who come from Maryland, and it's a taboo for us. We don't subscribe to it. But in Lofa, it's not a taboo, it's a culture. I mean, I think you understand the point I'm trying to stress.
Yeah,
So people, if you don't come to discuss it, it will be the problem. Yeah, go ahead.
Here is it, right? There are two words, and I really don't want us to dwell on this. I want us to focus on the topic. But we are using three words here tonight: culture, taboo.
Taboo, no. Taboo is an example of cultural differences. I want you to understand that one. Taboo is an example, it's a typical example of culture.
Or taboo is just something that is forbidden for a particular group of people.
But it's part of that culture. So taboo is a typical example of a culture.
Okay. So, Fee,
Yes.
the issue here tonight is religion.
How does culture differences shapes relationship expectation? How does it change it? Like if I knew you, like before you go to bed, you take off your shoes and you say a prayer to your bedpost, like and in a relationship with you, I'm like, oh, wow. Is he worshiping the bed? How does that shift my expectation?
All right. So, like I said from the beginning, it depends. It depends. It depends on the two individuals.
Right.
Because the culture should not be a barrier in relationship.
Gotcha.
Which I agree with.
What is suffering more relationship is the lack of understanding. The lack of understanding, which we also call irreconcilable differences.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean by lack of understanding? A lack of understanding in general of the entire dynamic of the relationship, or is it just the lack of understanding of a specific thing within the relationship?
Okay, lack of understanding of specific things in a relationship. For example,
Mhm.
Fee is married to Mr. X. Mr. X is a
Call my name,
Spanish.
Mr. Don.
Mr. X is a Spanish man. Fee is an African. Okay, Mr. X is aware that Fee is an African and she has a different style of cooking. She has different food types that she eats. She's accustomed to eating a particular group of food.
with a lot of spice in it.
Very good. Mr. X is also accustomed to eating his food according to his culture. All right. So if he is cooking her food, or if he has cooked her food, and Mr. X come and say your food smells so bad. See how the whole house smell with how they call it XYZ. Mr. X have refused to understand that this is Fee's food that she loves to eat. See, that's misunderstanding right there. And if it persists,
And Jimmy, before you go forward, let me just bring a quick real life situation to you when it comes to the issue of the food. Where I work, I have a colleague of mine. We know Liberians, right? We are noted for joining, eating together.
yeah,
Typically we are noted for eating together. Maybe Jimmy get a food, I can put my hand inside, we eat, right? And where I work, we have people of diverse culture. So they have been noticing this female friend, colleague of myself from the same country. If I took her at the workplace, recommended her, and both for all most of the time most of the time our lunch we eat together. She bring her food, I bring my food, we eat together. Take my spoon, everyone will eat together in the same bowl. And people have been noticing, and other people have noticing, but there's a couple who always, every time, they will eat together. So they think because the couple, their husband and wife, they will always eat together. But when they see she and myself eating together, they think that both of us, we are in relationship. Until every time I ask Eric, can they come? They say, no, we are not in relationship. She's my sister from the same country, we're from the same country, and this is our culture. We normally let her eat together. And that's how they got to understand it. Recently, folks only got to understand, oh yeah, true that they are not eating anything. But the other couple, they eat together, and there's a culture.
Yeah.
They eat together. The husband and wife, when the husband and wife, men and women eating together, they assume they are in relationship. But for us, no. I just thought to bring that one when you talk about that, how people think about people differently when it comes to the food and all the stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So that could lead to misunderstanding, and if it is not taken care of, could lead to a whole relationship ending because people have failed to understand that people have different way of life. They have food that they like to eat as per their culture. You see, so
Powerful Anna is here.
that affects a relationship, and also another thing that affects relationship, that will affect relationship, that is not cultural but is sex style. Most of the time people overlook it. You see,
What
fee is
did you
very
say?
good.
What did you say?
Yeah, but my man, G's hot again.
Look, we are all
Thank God,
adults here.
thank God Anna here for you already.
We are all adults here, and we know that you know but we are talking about irreconcilable differences that will end relationship that are not cultural, that I call it, that's what I'm talking about. All
This is
right.
the first. I'm just being crazy.
if let me use your name now because you wanted me to use your name.
Oh Lord.
If Andrew don't like to take a am
In that definition you use on me, in that time you want to bring that example to me,
Y'all
let's
forget
get out from
my
there.
yeah, after the night, y'all stop.
you are begging me to use your name.
Don't use your
But here's
own
the
hands
thing,
up,
right?
I beg.
Here is the thing. Here is the thing. I have seen women pack their low and go back to their parent place in the name of this man don't like me to sleep. That is not cultural. That is just irreconcilable differences.
That I agree, but let me go to that example. Welcome, Anna. We'll give you a few minutes to speak shortly. I want to go to what you said earlier. That I
Mhm.
agree, that's misunderstanding. But the example that you guys gave with the food, that is a perfect example of relationship expectations shifting, right? If
Yes.
I spice food, huh? And my husband and he's a Latina, right? And he
Yeah.
likes food differently. And as much as I might be understanding of that culture, right? And
Hmm.
understand my culture, that's gonna shift my expectation of the relationship because one, I can't eat the same food. Let's just say something that I don't want to eat. I can't eat the same food that he's eating. So now my expectation is that one, I'm going, or his expectation of me as a woman, that when I'm cooking my spicy food, I need to cook something separate for him because that's a shift in the dynamic of that relationship. Because as much as I understand, that doesn't change the fact that I need to be satisfied with what it is I'm eating. That's my food. That's what I'm accustomed to. That's what
Yeah.
makes me feel delicious when I eat it, like the tabagi. Oh my God. Then he's, oh, it looks nasty. Don't cook it anymore. That changed the whole expectation of it. As much she might be understanding, she likes it. Okay, she's gonna make the expectation is instead of making a one household meal, I have to make two meals for that day because I
Okay.
want to eat my custom food and he wants to eat it. So that's where I'm going with this whole shifting of expectations.
Yeah.
And I think before Anna comes in, I think that the food has a very important role to play in the cultural diversion, diffusion issue, right? Food. And you just said a classical example of when you come from two different backgrounds. Because if I cook in my food, like we put the spice inside, we put the tobagi solo inside, and all the kind of thing, and we put the when they're cooking when that scent coming out, and it feels unpleasant to the other person. But what kind of food is cooking is it smell nasty and like and like so that I don't think I stay in a relationship because she just preparing all kind of a meal here that I don't understand. And you may not be able to prepare his own meal according to his taste. So those things will shape the relationship expectation, and then people will start to say, no, I don't think I need to stay in the relationship because what I expected in the relationship and not expected. But probably Anna is here. Maybe let's hear from her
You
because
know,
she took
Fee,
my much time.
Fee, I used to have a friend that, that would come visit me when I'm cooking my when dry rice. You know, he would be busy spraying, air freshener, how to call it, all in a place. But when that dry rice is done and ready, that burger will eat more than me.
Especially when you get a red oil on it with a bitter ball and pepper.
Yeah, but that's Nana. I mean, Anna come in. We don't have time. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Hi,
Welcome
hi
to
everyone.
the
So
show.
my background has a lot of noise, so I'll just try to quickly talk.
It's okay.
Uh, I think that um, cultural differences help shape relationships, especially when you have two mature adults, right? It can also impact it in a negative way. So the positive of having a cultural difference in a relationship would include learning from each other, you know, helping each other see other points of views when it comes to different aspects of life. So, for example, when we talk about cultural differences, it doesn't necessarily have to be different types of food or coming from different cultures, right? Different countries. You can also be from the same country and have different like religious views or different um, upbringings.
Right.
So when we talk about cultural differences, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're from different places. It could mean that we could be from the same place but also from different, have different views or different upbringings. Now,
It's true. Right.
I would like to add that the negative aspect of cultural differences is that when you have two people who don't understand each other and are not willing to work it out, it could cause a lot of friction in their relationship. Like, for example, Jimmy was talking about food and also how people relate to each other. If you're someone that believes that, oh, like, for example, let me use two African couples. One was raised here and the other one was raised back home. Looking at someone directly in their eyes when they're talking could be considered disrespectful, right? But someone from back home, someone from here might see that as, you're giving that person eye contact, and it's also a way to show that you're paying attention to what the person is saying. But if you guys are two mature adults and you guys kind of educate each other on how your different cultures work, I think that's going to positively impact your relationship. So that's my take on it.
Thank you for that. I love it. That was great. We running out of time.
Yeah. Let me just land on as a take like a minute on Anna's point that you just mentioned. Yes, she's like, I mean, like, when you are talking to your kids or some people, it's different, right? The kids will want to look straight into your eyes. But if they, then we say, "But why are you looking at me like that for?" Especially in our African setting, especially like, "Why are you looking at me like that for? I'm talking to you, just looking at me like that."
Mm.
But
Having
again,
to
but
do that.
if the child is not looking paying attention, they say, "But why now?" So it confuses people, right? So that's the whole thing. But in our culture, when an elder is speaking, they expect you to be quiet. Don't say a word, and you should try to maybe focus on them. Don't be doing, I mean, your attention will be on them, not necessarily looking at them directly, but your attention will be on them, focus
Now,
on them. But for us, we want to look at you to hear you to say, know like what you're saying. But other people say, no, 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 no. Why are you looking at me like that for? Or why are you not looking at me? And, that just want to add on the point. You say it have both negative and positive impact, but she's mentioned about two mature others. Once
yeah,
you bring up, you discuss it, and there's understanding in that relationship, and we help. And I want us to take this key word home tonight with us when we leave in the show. Understanding in the relationship can help diffuse some of the negative tendencies into cultural, differences that would shape the expectation. But
that's
understanding, that's my take of the word today. Understanding in the relationship.
right. So earlier on, River says Pro said, I don't think cultural relationships are negatively impacted, which Anna just supported that. Long there is a mutual understanding. However, there could also be culture clashes due to misunderstanding. We just answered all of those. Definitely, definitely. And then sunset, he said, as a Liberian, it is culturally and traditionally acceptable to take care of my sick parent at home. My African American wife might see nursing home as the best alternative. There could be clashes. Actually, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. But I would say I don't think it's just Liberian or African. There are others in this country that believe like parents you home with, but majority of them, yeah, definitely. What do you guys?
So let Jimmy go. Let Jimmy take his minute on it. Then I run with mine on that too.
Yeah, that last part, he said, African American, like the whole taking care of your parents that are the elderly that are sick. Do you think that's a culture? Um, that I mean, I
So
know.
so so what Jimmy is waiting to say something. Let me just go into it quickly. I mean, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Well, he they come from two different areas. You
Mhm.
believe, you think, so it boils down to say the understanding.
Right.
It boils down to understanding, and that's my take of the entire section tonight. We on right. It boils down to understanding. Okay, your culture says, well, you want to take your man to the nursing home, you take care of her home. Then your wife says, we had to take her to the nursing home, and then we will pay the government going to take care of her. So you got to make her to understand. Look, in our culture, we would rather take care of our family member at home. Whatever happens is happening than carrying them to somewhere because they feel as stranger as nowhere else with no immediate family members around them. So it boils down to understanding, telling your wife or telling your husband, look, this is what we do in our culture, and our culture doesn't allow us to it is a taboo to let our family go far off from us. And when they don't see us around, they feel isolated, they feel neglected. And at the end of the day, they might likely do something to themselves, or frustration will kill them. From depression will carry them at the end of the day. So it's rather you explain it to your wife or your husband, let that understanding be there between two of you, work on it.
uh, yeah, thank you very much, man. Something making me crack, you know,
So
um,
there are a lot.
to to respond to to respond to River says, bro. You
Uh-huh.
know, the first reason why people do that is number one, the upbringing of the child or the children. Listen, there are children who were brought up well by their parents. They know what it means to take care of their parent. So they will rather take care of their parent at home. Or if they, if, because I work in the field, I know of children who come say, look, my mom is, or my dad is these days, and I would have loved to take care of them or him or her, but because of my schedule
Yes.
and
I want to.
and I don't want them to be left home alone and stuff like that. So I want them to be somewhere where people will take care of them, and I will always come to visit them. You see, and we see that happen a lot. They always come to visit I call it their family every weekend. Some of them come almost every day after work. You see, so it depends on the upbringing, how the parent, or train them. Because let's remember when the Bible said, train up a child in a way that he should go. When when he's old, he will not depart. When you train a child to be caring, when you are old, that child will take care of you. On the other hand, if you don't do that, the child will not care. At the end of the day, you become government property. It almost like you born your child and you're not taking good care of the child. The child, you leave the child alone. I call it that far we can't carry the child. You see?
Right.
So not everyone in a nursing home doesn't have a family to take care of them. Some of them family really care, but they don't have the time, the basic schedule.
Right. I agree too. I agree with you because prior to me
So
working in the hospital, I was
so so that has nothing to do with culture. It just has something to do with society. And
the misunderstanding of society, the
yeah,
American culture.
yeah.
All right, Anna, do you have anything to add on there? Nope. He's busy right now. All right, let's go to Salome. Says, I think cultural differences can influence and shape how people communicate in relationship. And I think it impacts the expectation in line of openness, directness, and even how they express their emotions. Yes, I agree. I agree. You guys have anything to add to that?
But I think earlier we are talking about communications. Here is one of the key examples of culture. differences. So the communication style, we talk about styles of communication, how people communicate in a relationship. So the way you communicate in a relationship will be quite different for instance, in a relationship, people from two different culture. It was setting an example on those from Nigeria. They get a way of communicating, into a relationship. So we talked about it earlier. And once both partners understand, that their communication aspect into the relationship, when it comes to the issue of cultural differences, that will help the relationship to move forward.
All right. Thank you. So this one said cultural norms also detect um, expectation around gender roles with relationships, and it also influence their beliefs about responsibilities and even decision making. So coming from what kind of culture background, it will shape your mindset already about relationships and what might hinder your partner. Maybe 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 it's negative or positive. Definitely like what Anna says earlier, right? So I agree with that because I think most of us we tend to forget that most society we always think women has role and women are not allowed to do certain things. The man is in charge, and American culture has built this system where women has the right and should be treated equally to speak. And it's funny. I watched a clip today about choosing. There's a clip that comes on TV. It's called "Choosing Your Fiance or Your Family." And in that clip, the lady, the guy family didn't want them to get married because they had just left a relationship recently, a marriage, and they just felt like they weren't off the same page. But this guy, his family background, their culture was that the man dominate and he dictate what his wife wears. And her family don't believe in that as well. They believe she should have the freedom. If she want to wear robe in public, that's her problem. If she want to wear booty shorts, that's her problem. There was real class there where they had to understand she was willing to accept what his expectation was, but the family wasn't. And there was a clash because they each wanted their family to give the blessing for the relationship. But the lady family believed that the guy was being controlling and you know. So it was kind of like a clash there. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys.
Yes, Fee, let me tell you, one of the cultural hindrances to relationship, especially in the Western world, is the the non-gender role, in the Western world.
Right.
You see, a guy who have lived all his life in Africa came to the state and get into a relationship with a girl who had lived all her life here, who don't you know who don't have cap on gender role in a home. If this guy failed to understand that I'm not in Africa, I'm in a new terrain, and this is a new environment I'm in, I have to suit within the or the comfort of the environment. That could cause them, or it could, or hinder their relationship, because here there is no gender role. The
Right.
man, a man should wake up in the morning and make the bed just as he expect the woman should do. He should go to the bathroom, clean it up, just as he expect the woman to do. Get in the kitchen, make breakfast, make food or lunch, dinner, as he expect the woman. You know. So if he failed to set, to settle in this kind of culture, it could cause their relationship. And you and I know that most of our brothers, you know, um, have not been able to really settle in this particular thing, because they feel that even if a somebody, they from Liberia, or the woman from Liberia, he's from Liberia as well, and they both live here now. He always want to exercise that, gender authority, I call it, in a home. But this is a new environment, and this new environment has a different culture, from that which you have practiced, or I call it, for years. You see, so we also see that hindering a lot of relationships here in America. Okay, I call it, in Africa, men don't wash clothes, men don't cook, men don't clean. All men do is to provide. You see, but here in America, everybody works. The woman work, you work. So therefore, we have to, coordinate on the activities of the home. And many men have failed on that, and because of that, there are a lot of issues in family. So yes, cultural uh, um, um, differences can cause, I call it, issue in relationship. But sometimes it's not only cultural; it could just be, irreconcilable differences that can sabotage a relationship.
Yeah,
Right.
basically, I don't know how. I'm going to go back. I'm not going back to that comment because we're all just almost saying the same thing. We talk about understanding, but I think I am not a Nigerian, but we follow most of the Nigerian movies and some of the culture. And some people, the Nigerian respect their culture, especially when it comes to the issue of family involving into it. And for instance, the man got married to a lady, and that lady is barren, and quote unquote barren, and she cannot bear no child. And you will see the mother-in-law in that order, because she should, want to know, oh, you must get pregnant, you should throw her up. And their culture says we must have a child, forgetting to know that this person is not the one who can provide children. It's God. And then the world, you can better, in fact, and they demand the sex you want to, the gender of the
Right.
child. They want you must produce boy child. She's not the one who to produce boy child. It's God who gave. So in their culture, they believe in a relationship. They have influence over that. So if you look at most of the Nigerian movie, what people do in the Nigerian movie, there's is things that they do. There's cultural things that happen that they bring up to the left line for people to follow it in our modern society, for people to stop doing the same. But these are things actually that people do. Oh, you will
Right.
give me bocha. You will give me bocha. If you can't do it, then no. They will go in the village to take another woman and bring it to their son. And their boss children listen to the mother as compared to the girls listening to their mother. I mean, I thought to share that only when it comes to this thing where Felicia just ruled here, and sorry. But all boils down to understanding into the relationship too, as well. I will spoke of that.
Right. And then we're just gonna breeze through this really quick, guys. Even cultural background shifts people culture attitude toward family involvement. Andrew just did that relationship, and at the end of the day, it affects your expectation regarding family relationships and their support and other aspects of family dynamics. So, I guess based on what Salome said up there about someone who eats snakes or something like that. So, River says, Pro said, I need some clarification on the term culture. If I don't eat snakes, but man, woman, um, the Far East, who eats snakes? Should I allow snakes to be cooked in
Well, that's the same thing we talk about understanding, right?
the
And this is why we talk about cultural identifying cultural diversity.
right, the norm,
Those who understand cultural norms, those who on this, some HR level courses or senior managerial courses, they will tell you something that well, cultural diversity. You should be able to read between the lines of people with different cultural backgrounds, right? So if you marry, if so, then that's why before you even marry a person, if you even marry a person, study the person cultural background if you marry the person. Because if you
ah,
don't want to fall in that study the person cultural background. So if you let me talk about globalization, in which that globalization comes in, it is because of that. So you must be able to accept it. If you cannot accept it, well, then I don't know where you're going. But this is why, before you even get into marry anybody, study their cultural backgrounds and know which culture they come from. What are the likes and what are the do's and don'ts in their cultural in their cultural life, in their lifestyle. Because we talk about culture, we talk about lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, their customs, they ask things, they are the culture. Okay, so study it. If in a culture they say they can eat snake, well, and you read about it and you say, oh no, man, I love the woman, man, and she won't start cooking snake in the hall. Obviously, you have to accept it, my brother.
You guys see all people from Strata Lane in the living room, they about to chop it.
Uh, uh, Riverside Pro. You know the song I say when you let a monkey.
Yeah, let it say.
When you let it monkey, you won't let it take. When you
You
let it
know,
monkey, you won't let it take.
I used to have an Indian friend. We used to work together. And one day he invited me to their house. When I went to their house, what they have in their house as pet was not my friend. So since I left that house, I'm not going back there because I don't. In my culture, we don't keep snake as pet. No.
Why they don't want it to eat it.
And that's their pet in their house. So when you are getting into a relationship with someone, you know, I always told people dinner date is not just to go sit down and eat. You know,
It's a free meal ticket for the women.
but
Like,
um,
you
it,
buy a
it's not. Yeah, it's not just to go sit down and eat. You know, sometimes a date can just be a walk along the park. You know, it don't even have to be to a restaurant. But I call it nowadays. By the time you tell our sister that about date, that which restaurant we're going. No, sometimes it's just a walk in the park. You know,
eh,
or
and
or yeah, or just go sit on the beach, and enjoy the breeze, I call it the nature, enjoy the nature, have conversation, ask questions, ask questions. Who has that video on, man?
I remember I asked one African guy one time, I said, hey, I like to hike. Can we go hike? The guy told me I came from Africa, all the bushes, oh, they have to go walk. I beg you.
Like that guy, that guy sounded just like me replying or I call it, I call it replying to someone that say, wanna go hiking. I call it, in I call it country Zanzibar. I think somewhere wanna go hiking, and I told her, I say, of all the recreation things, that only hiking you see. I say, let me tell you that two things I don't do. You see that hiking you're talking about? You see that roller coaster thing?
Yeah.
Those are two things I don't do for love.
You want that before you want to be like Jack and Jill.
No, 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 no,
Jill,
no.
don't you want that go? Someone
All right, I think we got 9 more minutes, 8 more minutes to go. I think we can kind of conclude now, right?
okay, we're around 3 minutes, but that's fine. It was a really good topic, but yeah. Do you guys want to give your closing statement? Go.
Let Jimmy start because he came late.
Jimmy Kimmel and Anna, do you want to give your closing
Okay,
statement?
let Ina go. Uh,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. What I was going to say is I liked what everybody has said, and I would like to highlight that it's very important to be very open about cultural expectations when you're getting into relationships, just like someone mentioned earlier. Like if you don't eat snakes or you don't like pets, it's very important to mention, because you don't want to get in a relationship with somebody and you guys have um opposite values or cultural values. So it's very important to make sure you clarify that. Yeah, so I really like that, and I think it's very good to stress it out, especially at the beginning of a relationship.
Thank you. I
Thank you, Anna, for the beautiful closing comment.
All right, Anna, you already said what I wanted to say in my parting comment. Um, love is a beautiful thing, but sometimes it gets bitter when it gets bitter and ugly when we don't when we fail to cohabit. When you are getting in a relationship, especially for those of our audience who are anticipating of getting into a relationship, when you are getting into a relationship, don't jump. It's not a Oscar game or um touch. It's not a Oscar or touch game. You know, we from back home, we know what a touch game is. Where you just leave from outside and jump in the bags, and then you start making your way around.
mhm.
That's not what a relationship is. A relationship, when you get into a relationship, make sure, if it is a long-term relationship that you want to establish, make sure you know who you get into a relationship with. Know their style of life, know what they do for living, know what they like and dislike, know their religious belief. And if those things fit into what you are looking for, then you get into it. But make sure you ask all the necessary questions. In fact, do background check. Know their family background, because sometimes we get lost at the end when we get into the wrong family before we know that we don't belong here. Okay, if you are not as if you feel unaccepted by the family, for me, I would say don't go into that relationship, because when you get married to that man or that woman, you are not just marrying a man or a woman, you are marrying a whole family. And if the family doesn't accept you, your your marriage or relationship is going to be a piece of hell. So make sure that that your partner is someone who understands you and who you understand, who know your like, who have accepted your like and dislike, and have agreed to work with you. And you two have done the same on their part. So thank you very much for the discussion tonight. And forward to journey. I look forward to journey tomorrow.
He's, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everybody for tonight. Thank you, John, for joining Anna and Jimmy and the rest of the crew. Okay, it's very important. I think Jimmy summarized it together with Anna and stressed a very important point. My takeaway tonight on this program we have tonight is understanding into a relationship, understanding each other cultural differences will help build the relationship. You know, well, it's always good Don't do it like Tosh or Husker. Always, like I said before, run into a relationship. No, do a background study on the person before you jump into it. Know their culture, what they like, what they don't like, before you jump into it. If you don't do it, if you jump into it, the person brings snake tomorrow to cook, get prepared to cook that snake, whatever the case. So on that note, I want to say thank those of you who join us tonight.
In fact, Robert
Tomorrow we're
said
gonna be
you
here
will
for
clean
another.
that snake.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be here for another program again. Let's talk with Miss Fee about our time, regular time, 8:30. And again, we'll see you. Thank you. My name is Andrew. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to
And Fee, let's talk behind the scene right now. Remote, let's talk behind the scene on what we're discussing, please. So
all right. Let's talk. Now you confuse me.
you are
Thank
giving thanks to everybody viewer.
They both know how to interrupt people.
Just want to let you guys know and tell you guys thank you so much. It was a really great show. And I really appreciate to see all the faces back. Even if I'm mad at all of y'all. But we'll discuss this behind closed doors, one on one. Y'all come ready for you.
I'm
But
happy to hear from Jimmy today. It's been a while.
right? Thank you. You see, Anna is even mad. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Anna,
Oh, so Anna, you didn't miss me on the show yet too, right? Yeah,
oh,
Jimmy
come
made that
on.
easy. Oh.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh,
Come
but
on.
you guys, I just want to say if you didn't learn anything or you didn't anything from us, again, we're not a relationship experts, but we're here to share our opinions and thoughts on all these topics. Tonight, the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway is one, do your research, get to know your partner, get to know their culture, because it definitely do shape the expectation of your relationship in positive and negative way, which we have listed throughout the segment. We just want to say thank you so much for watching to our viewers. Continue to share our show. Continue to support us. We're about to bring some different aspects of the show, and which I'm excited about. We'll be even more as time goes on. All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's go behind the scene. Fee, quick. Oh, bye bye.
This guy in behind the scene at 6 and 7.
Jimmy, I'm going to call you to go to
I
bed.
pretend I didn't see you. Please. Bye bye.
All right. See you guys. Yeah, I'm going to keep.